3.
Make it a clean sweep. I got a Dallas 11-6.
He kept it, I know they would say, oh, well, he kept the tag applied. He could have kept the tag applied and not straddled homeboy. You know what I mean? He could have moved his leg. So.
Oh, it was fine. It was just.
I'm just saying.
Ramirez
I mean,
had a little.
that wasn't necessary.
Nothing wrong.
It didn't need to get to that extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong.
Bills in a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown by Aaron Rodgers to take the division.
He's kicking field goals too. I want to bet.
Right?
I want.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to the Let's Talk Sports Show. Let's bring in our host, the one, the only field goal kicking Packer, Mr. Nick Botkins. Mr. Botkins, welcome in.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Oh, I don't know what's going on. My internet's I'm still backstage. It says Tanner. Oh, there I am. Hey, well, good evening. I told you. Welcome to another.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need a host with a good internet connection. Gosh, it never fails to have a show where Mr. Botkins' internet just craps out on him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Talk Sports Show. My name's Tanner Dawson, of course, of Let's Talk Sports and the Sports Buffoons. Excited to get this thing going. We got crap tons of topics to talk about, not only with our soon-to-be host here, once he gains some connection, but Mr. Jim Biringer, Mr. Jonathan Grishman, as always. And let's get some of the guys in here. Let me bring in Nick here. Let's try this again. Nick, can you hear me? Nick.
You there, no, Nick? It's cutting. Hold on. I'm shutting down our computer. So
Mr. Nick Botkins is out of here because he's Hey guys, if you want to support the channel, please come on into it. Help us out here, join our Discord, go sign up at our new website, signupexpert.com/let's-talk. A great chance to support the channel and maybe even help Mr. Botkins get a new set of internet or computer or something. So go support us down below. Let's bring in our Hall of Famer here while Nick shuts down and restarts here. Mr. Scott Cope. Scott, what's up, dude?
The host with the most, Nick Botkins.
Hey, I worked with Nick. I've been working with Nick for over a year. You gotta be ready for anything and everything.
Absolutely. No doubt.
About Buffoon Botkins, exactly how we did things around here. And what can I say? I'm always ready.
Who knew the Buffoon was on Monday night with you, too?
That's a good one, actually. Man, dude, Scott. Raiders scored. Dang it. I was hoping they kicked. I got over 3.5 field goals tonight, man. That's my bets total. Because I feel in Green Bay, that's all they're going to do.
I got Christian Watson over 48.5 receiving yards. This is not going well for him. I don't know what the Packers are doing. Aaron Jones practiced all week, and he's out tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand what that concept is with him. If he's that hurt, send him out. This is a Joe Burrow thing, left and right, all of a sudden again. Yes, they beat the Cardinals. Calm down, people. Joe Burrow is not the same Burrow at the moment. I don't care what he did with the Cardinals. Okay, that's what everybody should have done in the Cardinals leading up here. Okay,
right.
It's not a big deal. We'll have to see exactly what happens here, especially after Nick Botkins goes Burrow, Bengals, Botkins. So this is all it's going to be in that one.
He's going to stop picking them because once he stops picking them, they seem to do well. So,
exactly.
Mickey. What's up, Mickey? You knew Jamar Chase was going off last night. You just knew it. After all the talk in the locker room, you knew he was getting the ball a ton of times. And sure enough, 15 for 1.
Right? It's just something that we had to have in that play. But that's what it is, man. I know we're not going to talk about anything up in the Northeast at the moment, so we'll let you kind of.
Yeah, we're going to talk about when they fire Belichick. That's
Gosh.
They're awful. They're unwatchable now. Totally. It's unbelievable.
It's rough.
It is. What he's done to this team, and people in my home league are saying, oh, it's not all his fault. Didn't he put the players on the field? Didn't he draft these guys? Didn't he sign these guys? It's his fault.
Right? It is.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Are they going to score again? Tip. Good tip. Let's kick a field goal, babe. Mr. Nick, can you hear us? You there? Are you there yet? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think so. I think we're back in business, folks. I think we're back in business. Hopefully.
Nick lives
Can you
out,
hear me?
Nick lives out in the woods. Nick lives out in the woods.
I literally live in the middle of a fucking city with college and this fucking internet here. I don't know if it's StreamYard, the internet, my laptop. I don't know. It could be a mix of all the fucking things.
We'll do a test next week. We'll do a test
there's
next
that.
week on a different platform just to see.
For the do you need 5 minutes for a rant, Nick? Do you want us to leave you alone and give a 5-minute rant on the internet?
That's true.
I mean, I could. I don't know if it's the internet, StreamYard. My internet says, when I click on my laptop, says, hey, excellent strength here, the Wi-Fi. But, you guys probably don't know because you guys have really good internet. But on StreamYard, it gives you like little Wi-Fi bars. Mine will cut in and out all the time and say 0, none. They don't have like, now it says like 2. It says how many people are watching. So there's that. So I fucking hate it. Fuck you. Fuck you, technology. Fuck you.
StreamYard. Right?
Speaking of fuck yous, the Cowboys were saying a lot of fuck yous last night.
Hey, listen, before you go on the Cowboys, Tanner, doesn't Nick have dial-up, the old AOL dial-up, where it goes?
I do. I got to order a new disc, Scott.
I'm on the phone. Get off.
Ding, 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 ding.
Speaking of the Cowboys, where's our 2 Cowboys homers, Allen and Flo?
Hey, Cowboy Nation is nowhere to be found today, Scott. Nowhere to be found.
They certainly are.
Come on in, Sam.
Let's bring our guy in, Mr.
We will.
Titan.
Hey, let me.
First down. Hey,
what did I do to you? Damn. What did I do to you guys? Jeez. What's going on, fellas? Happy Monday.
Let me ask you guys this. The 49ers, the best team in the league right now?
Yes.
Yeah. I think they are. As right now.
I mean, hands down, the Cowboys. Yeah.
You're looking at. I think you're looking at a 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl. I think that's what you're looking at.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. It all depends on Mr. Purdy and he still stays healthy and whatnot. Like that's I think that's a big.
I'm more worried about the Chiefs than I am the 49ers. I mean,
let's calm down there, Alan. Let's calm down now. Come on.
Yeah,
Alan.
He's in the conversation.
Calm down now.
You got to say he's in the conversation.
He's not in the conversation.
How quickly?
Just because you don't turn the ball over.
How quickly will Allen bring up Oklahoma's victory over Texas? How quickly?
Well, here's the bet I put in today: Cowboys to miss the playoffs.
I thought it was funny. Y'all don't have to laugh, though.
After last night. Yeah, it was hilarious. They only beat up on the poor teams, and when they play anybody that's on their level or above, they can't perform. They don't perform well. So, like, they're playing the Chargers next Monday night. I don't know if they're going to win that game at LA.
Well, it's the fucking Chargers. It's shithead coaching versus shithead coach. So,
true, but the Chargers have had 2 weeks to prepare for them. They had a bye week this week. So,
yeah, but still, he'll do something fucking dumb, like go for it on 4th down, and he'll hit 30 on his own 2-yard line. So, I mean, you know what I mean? So I would lean towards the Cowboys. But you're right, though, Scott. The Cowboys haven't beat anybody. And I will say Brock Purdy, to me, is in the MVP category. The kid doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't even throw damn near any completions. He had 2 incompletions against the Cardinals. He had like 5 last night.
He's second in completion percentage to Josh Allen, Tua and Justin Herbert right below them. By the way, Lamar and Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott at 69. That's pretty nice. So
69.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I could. Good.
I can't see it.
Oh, man.
There's too much talent around him. He's supposed to be doing not
defense-
throwing interceptions, but and that defense is nasty. It's nasty.
They're the best overall team. They are the best overall team, but we got to give the kid some credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
Jimmy G wasn't looking this fucking good with that team. You know what I mean?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Phenomenal.
You know? All that.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
So Tanner,
Yeah.
after 5 weeks, who's the MVP of the league right now? Do you think?
Brock Purdy.
Still Mahomes.
Quarter into the season,
Gotta be.
I
Still
don't know.
Mahomes.
It could be Mahomes. It could be Brock Purdy. I would say one of those.
It'd be
Mahomes is
between
one.
Purdy and
Somebody
Mahomes.
else.
Mahomes is 1, Hurts is 2, and maybe Purdy or McCaffrey is 3.
Yeah, McCaffrey. I mean, honestly, McCaffrey.
I would say
would be
McCaffrey.
number one.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I'm.
Justin
Well, I'm
Jefferson seems to be the Vikings said he's not playing this week, and they're not bringing him back until he's 100% healthy. I mean, I figure
He's
with
an
the
IR
lost
candidate,
season
I think.
already for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going on IR maybe, which is what the Bengals should have
Sam,
did.
I want to. Yeah. Sam, I want to ask you that you put a stat out there on Facebook. I believe I read it was about the Titans. It's been 23 games since they've scored 30 points or more. So,
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to ask you. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
Sam,
Yeah.
you're on the
No.
clock.
So for 2 years we had Todd Downing as our offensive coordinator. We wanted him gone for 2 years. We got rid of him, and the new guy hasn't gone over 30 in 5 weeks, but we're moving the ball better. So take that for what you will. The stat is still bad. I'm not defending them in any regard. They have not done enough. They have not had enough cohesion, and I think you can throw that at the feet of one of Mike Vrabel's failures. Yeah. Your turn.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you, it's 23 games. That's a season and a half almost. Is it time to start rethinking Mike Vrabel as a good coach?
I don't know. They brought up something today. One of the beat reporters brought up something today on the radio show, and I thought it was interesting. He said the echo of John Robinson is one that still shatters glass in the franchise. So his bad draft picks.
Who's that? Who's John Robinson? You guys'
ex-GM.
The old
They fired
GM,
him
right?
mid-season.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he had really put us in a bad way.
Okay.
And so they came in strapped and they had to make decisions. I mean, come on, you guys saw it. They had to move people around all the time. They had to cut people. It put you in a bad spot. And then you were so bad, you drafted all offense in this draft. And so far, not so much. But like I said, at least we're moving the ball up and down the field, which is something I couldn't say for last year. I couldn't say it. Now, I was deeply depressed about that pitiful defensive showing. Somebody called it the my bad game because it seemed like every Titans defender was going, my bad, after every damn play. It drove me flipping nuts. I'm sure it drove Vrabel nuts. So much so that he called out his cornerback by name, which is, if Vrabel's doing that, you must be doing bad. You must be doing bad. Let me put it to that.
No doubt.
So let me ask you: the red zone? They must be close to the bottom of the league. Red zone efficiency. Is it a offensive coordinator problem, or is it a players problem that they're not making the right decisions, i.e., the quarterback?
When I've looked at all 22 views and analysts and stuff after the game, it just looks like missed opportunities to me or lack of execution. It gets really wishy-washy about who's to blame who or whatnot, but I can't argue that during that Colts game when Derek was – and first of all, this needs to be said as well. Derek makes mistakes, okay? Derrick Henry makes mistakes. You can blame it on the line only so much. He had holes yesterday. He missed them. He had holes yesterday. He didn't shove a guy to get him out of the way. He played I'm going to say it. He played soft. You know who didn't play soft? Tajay Spears, and it showed. But I'm looking at just a lack of execution. Tannehill not hitting the wide open guy. There are a lot of things, protection issues and all of that. But I don't know if this is just we don't have the proper personnel to get it done, or if these guys it always kind of seems we start out rocky and then get going there at the end. But I'm legit just to the point now where it's like, look, I think Nick and I talked about before the season, I think they're going to get 7 wins and then call it a day. And then you get to start next season with, I think, 98 plus million in cap space without Henry or Tannehill or a lot of other problems. So
yeah,
just how I see it. I'm just riding out the clock. I feel like they're trying to bridge and keep from having a rebuild year. But if you sit there muddling in the middle, you could really hurt this team without getting a top draft pick.
Right.
So,
right.
Tanner, is it time to start thinking where we grade Vrabel as a coach, where we respect him as? Because, I think the 4 of us all respect him highly as a coach and give him a lot of credit. But is it time to maybe rethink that?
No, because I think Vrabel is a good coach. You saw this team got taken to the number 1 seed, right? They lost an Arrowhead in the title game. And these guys are always been competitive and in it. There's reasons for it. Vrabel isn't the worry. It's more of the players around and the execution part of it. Yes, you can blame the coaching. I think it's more of his staff with the execution and the accountability more than it is him. It's also the front office. Front office has been horrendous for these guys as of the last 4 years. So plain and simple, before we get to Jim.
Ever since
Vrabel
AJ Brown debacle, right?
Yeah, no, not before that. Since the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Since they came into Arrowhead. Vrabel isn't the issue. Or else otherwise you would not see them as a number 1 seed that year at all. So
that's true. I agree.
Didn't they back-to-back number 1 seeds? They lost to Cincinnati as number 1 seed.
No, they were number 1 seed,
and then 19 they were number 1.
They played the wild card, and then they were the number 1 seed.
I had no idea what happened to Sam.
They lost to the Ravens as a 1 seed, right? Wasn't that the
No.
Ravens? The Ravens.
That was the wild card in 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, they had to go into Tennessee and beat them.
Right.
Yeah.
The Tannehill game that echoes in eternity.
What's up, boy?
Hey, well, look at you. You made it to the top. Boom, straight to the moon, Alice. Look at you.
We'll now have a one-on-one interview with Johnny Cruz. Johnny, your thoughts on the Dolphins, please.
Where the hell is he? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Johnny.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from Johnny. Hopefully it's all right.
Johnny, I hope he's okay.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting to say. I kind of agree. I think it's not really Vrabel. It's sometimes you don't have the right groceries. You look at this team, they don't quite have the playmakers, and he's done well. Me and Scott and Johnny had a good conversation about the Pats last night, and we were talking if they do replace Bill Belichick, where would be a good landing spot for Bill? Where do you think he could go, Tanner? Because it's going to be a spot where he can win. Now he's not going to do he's not going to be in a rebuild situation. So what kind of spot if it is time for Bill to move on, where could he go and what would it look like?
Back to the Jets.
Done. Go back home. Stay home. Be an advisor somewhere if you really want to. Bill's done. Bill's out.
So you think the couch? You think the couch is it? But what about the Don Shula record? You don't think there won't be a team that calls him?
No, dude. Because all that's going to take him is the desperation. Sniffing, maybe Jim's Giants a little bit. Maybe the Cleveland Browns, since Stefanski can't do it. Sniffing out, the Tampa Bay Bucks after Todd Bowles gets fired and canned. Like there's a bunch of franchises to be sniffing around, but none that he should go to.
So, Tanner, I had said the first team that came out of that's the team that came out of my mind last night.
They're not going to hire him.
They're too cheap, first of all. But we were talking about veteran teams that can win now, and the Chargers are with Herbert and Eckler and Keenan Allen and all that group. They're a team that could win now. So they're a team that could give them 8-9 wins right away. But A, they're a cheap team, and B, I think he's going to want control wherever he goes. That's the whole problem. He's too stubborn to say, okay, I'll just be coach and I'll take the players from somebody else. He's just too stubborn.
Yeah.
So
Can't do it.
Bill Belichick, the GM, screwed Bill Belichick, the coach, and that's.
I've
where
been
we're at.
saying that for years. I've been saying that
Sure
for years.
did. Sure
That's
did.
how teams do it. That's how teams do it. Bill O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, buddy.
Yeah.
1-4. Way to go, Bill. God damn.
What a homecoming for old B.O.B., baby.
Get his ass.
I mean, we're talking
Jesus
about-
criminy.
So then tonight, they're talking today, that topic came up numerous times. If Bill leaves, who's the successor? And it was Gerard Mayo that a lot of people said. What does Gerard Mayo have for experience? Zero.
Yeah, but at that point in time, you're resetting everything, right? You got to tear this thing down and rebuild it.
One guy that's going to help you.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and he can at least give him time. And speaking of rebuild, it's kind of being reported right now that Sean Payton's saying, "Hey, we're getting everybody the fuck out of here, and we're going to tear this thing down, and we're going to rebuild it in my vision." Do you guys see that maybe guys like Jerry Jeudy, maybe Russ Wilson? I don't know what team would take Russ, but he wants to tear it. He wants to tear it down this year. In the next few weeks, and then regroup some of them draft picks that they lost in the Russ trade, lost when they got Sean Payton, and go for this. So maybe the likes of Jerry Jeudy. I don't know about guys like Pat Surtain if they keep him, but Jerry Judy's name will be number one. Maybe Javonte Williams. Denver could be tearing this thing down and going full board, full shit show here in the next few weeks.
I think that's the right call. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Sean Payton, but I don't think I'm putting him in like he's a terrible coach category yet. But I just think like the right call there is just to flush it all down the toilet, be done with it, start all over. So refresh.
The only guys that are safe in my mind, Marvin Mims, Jaleel McLaughlin, Adam Troutman, and any guy that's a Sean Payton guy, you're safe.
The kicker.
Will Lutz.
The kicker. Lutz. He's safe. They brought him in.
Russell Wilson is safe because nobody will take that godforsaken contract that he gets.
No.
He gets signed to.
No
way. But
Not
Javonte
even
Williams,
the Saskatchewan Rough Riders will touch that contract.
even Samaje Perine may be safe because Sean Payton brought him in free agency. Not sure about that, but he'd be safer. Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, those guys, any defensive guy, they're available for trade. I'll bet you right now.
Everything must go here at Sean Payton, Mark.
Yep, they're not going to get better than a third round draft pick for any of these guys. Maybe a second for Jeudy. But other than that, I can't see him getting. He's not going to get a first round for anybody.
Well, they got to. Yeah, they're going to have to figure it out, though, and try to trade. I would try to trade everybody and just dump everything and anybody that I could get for some draft picks.
Yeah.
Do you think the guy we're about to bring in's team would take some of those players from Broncos?
Yeah, let's go.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Jim Biringer.
Let's go ahead and bring in our guest. He joins us every Monday night. Hockey starts tomorrow, folks. Opening night of hockey. Me and Tanner's team. Connor Bedark is on the ice tomorrow night for the Blackhawks. So there's that. Can't wait to see that. He also covers wrestling. We're going to talk a little wrestling. Going to cover some college football. Give it up for Mr. Savant himself, Mr. Jim Biringer, baby.
What's going on, my maniacs? What's up, everybody?
I feel like we just tagged you in your LA Knight and you're about to clean the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, LA Knight. Whose game is it? Right here.
Oh, I loved me some Fast Lane, Jim. I hope you did too. I love that. Was great.
It was kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie.
What? Get out of here.
It was boring.
Last night was boring.
It's not boring. Oh my gosh.
It was boring. It was boring. I'm not gonna lie, it was boring.
Jim, let's I want to ask you, let's start off the weird.
Maybe I was tired and I was watching too much college football, but Fastlane was not good.
Wow,
That's fair enough.
Hey, Jim, we'll start with the wrestling since Sam wanted to start with it. What's the more weirder booking? Is it Ricky Starks and Big Bill winning the AEW tag titles, or is it Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso winning the tag titles? Because I don't think either one makes fucking sense to me.
I mean, because Cash Wheeler's dealing with an injury, I think that's how they sold it. Because he actually does have a broken rib from that Aussie Open match at Wrestle Dream. So that kind of makes sense because Tony Khan's learning his lesson not to have like interim titles and just vacate the championship and have another tournament. So he wants
missed
these
it.
guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Jim.
So I guess what they want to do is just be like, all right, let's establish these guys, make them dominant, beat the best tag team in the world, squash them. Similar to what like Brody did to Cody when he won the TNT title for the first time, just complete squash. So it gets FTR off television for a little bit. They're going to nurse their injuries. They've been wrestling a lot. I don't have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is Cody and Jey Uso winning tag team titles. But WWE, like they always do, and it's nothing against what Hunter's doing, but you backed yourself into a corner with that when you announced the match because somebody had to lose and the wrong team lost, but you're not going to have Cody and Jey lose in their first match together. So you should either been a non-title match or just don't even book the match for the pay-per-view.
Or you could have had the Judgment Day run in and you know what I mean and lay out everybody. You could have had
like a smosh finish, DQ, whatever.
Yeah.
Just to keep the titles to establish them because they should be running wild on Raw and all the shows. To be honest, like that's what they should be doing. You have this established unit. They have all the gold and now they just take all the gold away. It makes no sense.
So is this a foreshadowing to maybe Damian Priest cashing in and winning against Seth
Rollins?
I
hope so. I mean, Seth Rollins continues every week to say he has a bad back. Got a broken back.
And then get annihilated by Shinsuke and nothing happens.
Don't make the title switch there. Maybe they finally decide that they're gonna cash it in, maybe Saudi or something, or who knows. But I think Damian Priest is probably gonna cash this thing in sooner rather than later. You would think.
I thought Shinsuke would win on Saturday. Priest cashes in on Shin.
Me too.
Or do what they did with Rollins and then have Damian Priest cash in because that's the way to really do it. Because Seth,
like the triple threat match, is what you're saying. Like a triple threat.
But like after Seth wins the match because he just goes through a grueling last man standing.
Oh
match,
yeah.
His
that's
music
generally
comes
what they
out. Do. That's usually what they do. And
I
guess they didn't decide to pull the trigger. But again. Beggars can't be choosers. But again, like I said, I watched most of the pay-per-views. I mean, it was, like I said, it was okay. The women's match was good. Carlito was cool. But again, there's so much that I think you're just so drained from like every week there being something. It's like, all right, like this is okay. This is something I can miss. And then when you see Notre Dame's losing on Saturday, you actually want to see Notre Dame lose.
Yeah.
I actually kind of enjoyed.
That's a good transition. Go ahead, Sam.
Wait. Sammy, what do you got?
What? Oh, I just enjoyed Cody and Jay winning because I thought, like everybody else, thought that Judgment Day was going to win. So I enjoyed the surprise personally.
Yeah, but Cody and Jay are a very weird tag team to put together. It's just very strange. I know Cody brought him to Raw, and I know that's the storyline. I know that's the way they're going, but still. It's just
Judgment Day's got tension among them anyway. Maybe this is part of the story to get shoved and go ahead and get started because they're about to break up anyway. I mean, JD McDonough gets yelled at by Damian Priest every single week or so.
And
I think Priest is going to get kicked out. I think Priest is. I've read like they think Priest is going to get kicked out, right? Because Rhea was already saying like, hey, you let Dom lose on Saturday or whenever he lost his USA title, obviously got it back like 2 days later. Dom. But it seems like there's some, you let Dom loose. Like, that's bad Australian accent.
Damian Priest is about ready to go babyface. They've been teasing
him. Yeah, he is ready to go babyface. Look, they had the thing on Friday.
It's the eyeliner, you know what I mean?
Being Bloodlines, locker room, the whole thing, the acknowledged stuff with Rhea. Rhea really is the leader of Judgment Day. Like, all that stuff. I could see her pull the trigger, get this guy out of there. Just because, he thinks he's better than everybody else. But I agree. Like, again, this goes back to What have I been saying since after WrestleMania? Put the damn
Cody Rhodes should
title on
have been
Cody.
the champ. Yeah.
Should have been the champ. Like, it just, again, you don't have your champion on TV since SummerSlam. Like, Cody's so over. The fans love him. You should have just had the title. And all this is solved. And I love the fact in a press conference he took a shot at it and said, goes to Jay, he's like, what inning are we in now? Because this probably has no bearing on the effing story, any inning they're in.
Yeah. I don't think that they even know. I don't think they know.
They don't know because they messed up, and they know they messed up. You should have pulled the trigger at 39.
I think Vince messed up. I think it was
Vince messed up for sure.
Guys, let's talk about the real news in wrestling. The thing that Jim actually has been mentioning on his Twitter there. CM Punk. CM Punk.
Let's talk about it.
He's back. What I tell you, I told you guys to be coming back. Figured a bigger time, but
we don't know if he's officially back yet, right, Jim?
It's not officially back, but he intends to go back to WWE. He's working out the problems that he had with the company. He's bending fences, and everybody who says, well, if one guy I was reading, somebody said, oh, well, so and so said, well, CM Punk tried to pull that crap here. Well, and then my counter is, well, he would never pull that crap there because people in the back at WWE wouldn't do what they did at AEW to get under his skin. So it would never happen.
There's a leader in charge, right? We've said that. We had that conversation a while back, right?
There's a leader in charge in the WWE locker room. That stuff never happens. And they probably work it out before it even becomes a big issue. I think it's happening. I know WWE's like, well, you should do it at the Royal Rumble with a bigger pop. No. You do it in Chicago. You do it at Survivor Series. Why?
Yeah.
He's from Chicago. Another reason. The fans were told he got fired from AEW at Chicago. You're going to United Center. You have to do it in Chicago. The reaction would be amazing. And you know what? You love him or hate him. I've said this. I've written about it. Love him or hate him. People are going to watch. It would be awesome. Here, fantasy booking scenario, right? Okay. Go back to when this whole thing with this bloodline crap started. And even go back to 2013 when he lost the title to The Rock, and he shouldn't have lost the title to The Rock.
Did we lose Jim or am I frozen? Oh.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's just me.
Go back to when he fought The Rock, the Rumble, and all that stuff. Should have never lost the title. Cena, Rock didn't need the belt. Part 2, okay? I know Cody should win, all this stuff. Have it come full circle and CM Punk beat Roman Reigns. That's my fantasy booking because that would just be amazing.
That's what I think. I think they should say Roman Reigns is wrestling Survivor Series against an unknown opponent that will be named at Survivor Series. And then the music hits, CM Punk comes out, the whole building goes nuts, and he wins the title. And then drops it to Cody at WrestleMania. Maybe that's
that would be the way to do it. For me, I would love to do that because it just goes full circle with everything with that whole thing. Because like I said, The Rock should have never won. I hated it. I was like, there's no reason for Rock Cena 2 to have the title because Cena's just gonna get his win back anyway. So it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you just have it come full circle with everything. But I look, he's good for wrestling, whether you like what he did or didn't like what he did. I think he'll be different there, and it would be fun to see him back in a company where, let's be honest, things were contentious, but I don't think Vince is going to be around as much anymore. Hunter's in charge. I think that it makes sense.
What kind of storylines do you
read
put
today
into?
that Endeavor's. Oh, go ahead, Tanner.
I mean, storyline-wise, you could do a lot of things. Seth Rollins and CM Punk have a lot of history. Those two guys have been going back and forth on the mic. You got Roman Reigns there. Cody's there. KO, Sammy. Like a bunch of guys that he's wrestled on at ROH when they were there. The fact that they continuously drop hints about him, it just makes me real. He's coming. Like Corey Graves continues to use his quotes. Like again, it's he's coming back. It's just not a matter of if, it's when, and when they announce it and how long they milk it. And I think that's going to be. I know people won't like it, but hey, he brings dollars. Okay, he brings dollars. He brings eyeballs.
Money.
It's about money.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Jim, I was gonna. So two things. I did read today that Endeavor, they're fully backing Triple H as like the creative guy and this and that, and pretty much told Vince to kind of sit back, collect your fucking money, and shut up, and let H run the show. So there's that, and then my second question here. This is more of a question than just a fact, but my question here is: what moves the needle more? Is it CM Punk and Jade Cargill to WWE? Or is it Adam Copeland in AEW? Which one's going to move the needle the most?
How about both?
Yeah.
Because everybody's making money, right? All companies are going to make money. People are going to tune into WWE. People are going to turn into AEW. It's a win for everybody. I mean, look, if you want to really break it down, like, okay, I'm going to be like Dave Meltzer, I'm going to break it down and add to the tribalism through media. Oh, well, CM Punk is a bigger star than Adam Copeland, and he's going to – who gives a crap? The whole business wins because we're back into the mid-'90s where we would have never thought, like, in the mid-2000s, we never had this again, right? We didn't have guys jumping ship. We really didn't know which way they went. Like, certain guys, okay, I mean, like, when TNA was really hot, Christian showed up, Kurt Angle's at Booker. It's like, okay, but you knew it wasn't true competition. Now AEW's true competition, and we're back to like, this guy's a free agent. He's going to jump ship. So we're really back to that, and I hope people aren't taking for granted that we're in such a great time for professional wrestling, and we have to enjoy it all, and it's all there for us, right? So everybody's like, okay, yeah, well, Tuesday night's coming up. What are you going to watch more? F that, I'm watching both. Why would I not watch both? It's a great, I did it. I watch every Wednesday. I watch both till they move. It's a win for everybody.
It is weird that, I've never seen, it's weird, like how there is a tribalism. Like, man, there's just so, and it's like, man, like it's like they forget how it used to be. Like you said, Jim, this has been 20 years. It's been 20 years since we've had really two good promotions that can go head to head with each other. And you feel great about watching the product on both ends. And that brings me back to when I was a kid, right? Like you would have to watch Raw or, Nitro would end at something and then you'd switch it to Raw or flip-flop back and forth because you wanted to make sure you caught it all. But now there's just like, if you're an AEW stan, you hate WWE, or vice versa. Like there's WWE stans that hate AEW. I don't get it. Like it's wrestling. People just fucking enjoy it. Like who cares? And it's bad. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. They should just be grateful we got two great promotions. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Edge versus Christian. I can't wait to see what happens there and all that.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, I love it. I mean, this is great. Like I said, don't take it for granted because we're gonna look back in 10 years and be like, holy crap! Like this time in wrestling, did we really take it for granted? Like for me, growing up, like watching Attitude with WCW night, like you wanted to flip over. Like you were like, okay, what's on this show? What's on that show? Go get a TV, throw it on. Like see if I can get a second cable box to have. Like go run back and forth, put them side by side. Like you wanted to watch both because you just enjoyed it. And for me, that's what it's all about. Like just enjoy it. Don't take it for granted. Don't jump into the tribalism. Oh, WWE is better. AEW is better. Who cares, man? Everybody's making money. MJF said it. It's like the rest. If both companies are doing well, you don't want neither to go away because everybody's making money. And that's the whole point. And you want to enjoy it and you're entertaining the fans. And look, AEW is different for some. Okay, great. WWE is different for some. Okay, that's fine. Go enjoy it. Impact's there. You got ROH. Like the fact of the matter is like I know everybody wants to say, yeah, like look for me, yeah, was it a lot of pay-per-views in a row for AEW? Sure, but you know what? They had 435,000 pay-per-view buys over 3 events. That's pretty damn good. Like for like that company for what they did, that's pretty damn good. So look, hats off to what they're doing. Hats off to what WWE's doing. It's fun. It's making wrestling fun again, and that's what it's all about. and don't just get caught up in that. And I need to stop preaching about this, but I think people need to really like jump on the bandwagon about like, let's just enjoy it because we're all winners on Tuesday night.
Amen to that, Jim. Let's switch to some college football. You mentioned Notre Dame falling. Texas loses. Miami. Yeah. I mean, Jesus. I mean, me and Scott ripped Johnny for the just kneel the fucking football.
Oh my God.
Their coach came out today. I was reading statements. He said, "I made a mistake. We should have knelt it." Well, no fucking duh. Oh, you're the only person in the whole world at that point in time that would think, "Hey, let's run the football instead of just kneeling it." Like, I mean, what are we doing here? So Miami loses a heartbreaker. Texas loses a heartbreaker. My Mizzou team, Mizzou kind of loses a heartbreaker as well. What was the worst loss of the weekend?
What?
Oklahoma.
Worst loss of the weekend?
Oh, there it is. Ding, 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 ding.
Worst loss of the weekend? I would probably put Miami up there as probably the worst loss of the weekend. I mean, you have 40 seconds on the play clock, 30 seconds left in the game. How do you not take a knee and end the game? Georgia Tech, no timeouts. All you have to do is take a knee. The game's over, and you run a play and you lose the football. Like, that is complete idiotic coaching. Mario Cristobal should be fired for what he did because there's no reason for that. Like, no reason for that. They would have been 5-0, 1-0 in ACC play. You have a big game against North Carolina coming up. Like, there was no reason to do that. And I keep telling everybody, as much as I like want Miami to be good again, they always make a blunder. They always do something stupid. And this team isn't back until they start winning and making smart decisions. Like, you're up in the game. I don't understand how you don't take a knee. Like, that makes no sense. For me,
maybe.
Yeah, he probably did it in Oregon. He made stupid decisions in Oregon. That's why I didn't understand the hire in Miami for Mario Cristobal, because he's really not a good football coach. But that's another discussion for another day. Missouri, I don't know what you're doing going forward on 4th and 32. Look, punt the football.
Well, it wasn't even that, Jim. It was the 2 plays prior. It's 3rd and 1. It's 3rd and 1. All you got to do is we're in field goal range. They're in field goal range. All you got to do is fucking just get this first down. Don't false start. So then it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6. Then Cook fucking fumbles it and it goes back fucking 20 yards. And there it is. So it's just compound stupid mistake after stupid mistake.
But still, 4th and 32, you shouldn't be going for it because your defense is playing well enough that you can change field positions, and they held them anyway to get the ball back.
Yeah, and then they still couldn't do shit. He threw an interception.
First of all, they're so deep in their own zone that he throws the pick, the game's over. But at least if the ball's in the other end, maybe you get a decent return. You're at the 50 to start, and then you can at least have a little bit of a drive to get the win. I mean, look, give hats off to LSU for coming back in that one, because if they don't win, that their season's over. Alabama, a nice win against Texas A&M. Look, Oklahoma gets the jump in the rankings. Look, if we may get a rematch again in Arlington, again, West Virginia doesn't play Texas, but West Virginia does play Oklahoma. So, again, the Big 12 is going to come down to a lot of things. Now, you go to the ACC, Florida State, UNC, and Louisville are going to be all undefeated. None of them play each other. So what happens if they're all undefeated in league play? Like, that's going to be something crazy to see. And then, of course, tiebreakers. But they don't play each other. So
no. So it's like come down to what? Was it score? Is it score?
Yeah, point 4 against. Yeah, something like that. So Louisville could be undefeated in league play and miss out, or so can miss out. And then there's the Pac-12, and then there's the USC, who keeps dropping, by the way, and they win. So this is the first year I've noticed the pollers actually watch the games, because in years past I always say, well, this team's performance doesn't really require them to still be a top 5 team. And this year they're like, okay, well, USC, your defense sucks so much that we're going to keep dropping you. It is awful. You have to, right? At least
nobody plays defense in the Pac-12.
But at least North Carolina's defense is better than the ACC. Like they're actually putting defensive performances together. Dude, USC's defense is awful. They gave up 41 points to Arizona, and they were down 17-0 in the game. Like, that's bad.
I saw that. Yeah.
What's going to happen next week if they beat Notre Dame and don't have a good defensive performance? How far do they drop?
Oh, my. And they've dropped, 2 weeks in a row now?
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, they should. They should.
Jim, is Texas's playoffs hope over, or they got to win out and then beat Oklahoma?
They have to win. I think it's over. I mean, it's hanging by a thread. Let's just put it that way. They need to win out. They need to win out, and if they get a rematch in the Big 12 title game, they got to win it. But I don't know if that's going to even be enough.
They need some other guys to lose on top of that.
West Virginia, like I said, West Virginia's got to lose, and a couple other teams in league play have to lose too for them to actually have a shot at this thing. But again, I think everybody wants the rematch.
My opinion, Texas should have won that game. They should have won that game. Texas should have yesterday.
My opinion is this: if Texas is to get in the playoff, it's because Oklahoma's undefeated. Oklahoma has to stay undefeated.
Yeah, they have
because for Texas' sake, because what they do in the pollsters is they look at who you lost to, and if Oklahoma's undefeated, they'll say, "Hey, Texas lost to an undefeated team." So Oklahoma's got to keep winning for Texas' sake. They're not going to keep two teams in the thing in the playoffs.
And Texas has to keep beating teams. Like I said, Oklahoma still has West Virginia on their schedule, so they have. And
they need Alabama to continue winning, right? Because if Alabama continues to win and looks well, they'll be like, well, they lost to Texas.
Well, again, that's the thing. Like that's the big thing for Texas
win, right?
Is they have the big signature win, especially if Alabama gets to the SEC title game.
Yeah,
in
Texas.
Yes, Jim. Is there more than a handful of teams that you think could win the national championship?
Yeah, I mean, look, easily. I mean, you think about you go to the Pac-12 alone. Oregon and Wisconsin to me are the two best teams out of that conference. Like, and somehow USC's defense turns it around. They have a shot because of their offense, right? And then you go to the Big Ten. You have Ohio State, Michigan, right? Those two teams are gonna. To me, I think Michigan's the best team in the country right now. I don't really care what Georgia beat up on Kentucky. Kentucky played nobody to get to 5-0.
Kentucky always gets beat up by Georgia.
So Georgia, still number one because Michigan's the most complete team in the nation right now.
Yeah,
top to bottom, the most complete team. If they don't win this year, then I don't know what's going to happen to Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. I really don't know. Florida State, they have their moments.
Jim Harbaugh could be coaching in the Commanders next year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's giving me more belief that they have a chance at this thing. Again, you have Florida State, UNC, maybe North Carolina get there. I mean, outside of maybe the top 10.
What are we doing?
Again,
what kind of fucking play call are we doing here?
Harbaugh to the NFL could happen. You never know. But then you think about it, right? And if Bama out of this thing, you never count out Nick Saban, right? So there's definitely a handful of teams that can win this thing this year.
I have no confidence in Harbaugh in the football playoff. I think I just have no confidence in him in a big spot that he's going to win.
I don't think Michigan's going to win in a big spot. Absolutely not.
Definitely.
That's not. Yeah, I think it's Georgia is my pick.
Are we still not putting Penn State into any chance of this?
No, because they still got to play Ohio State and Michigan.
So we got if they win out, then they have to be the favorites then, right?
Penn State.
If Penn State wins out and wins the Big Ten title game, they're in the playoff. I'm not saying they're beating anybody. It depends on who they match up with. But they still got to play Ohio State, and they still got to play Michigan.
Back-to-back weeks, I think, isn't it?
No. It's a couple weeks in between.
Okay.
But the Michigan game's 2 weeks before Michigan has to play Ohio State.
Yeah.
Jim,
But
we'll get you out of
They
here. on
have
this.
Ohio State at the end of the month. So,
Nick,
and it's at
we haven't
Ohio
even talked
State.
about-
So,
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
hold on. I just lost my screen here. Of course I did. By the way, shout out to the Jayhawks in North Carolina for basketball schools for dominating this weekend, unexpected on that. So I was pretty happy about that performance there. Obviously, we can now look past the Syracuse Florida State game. We look past Ohio State and Michigan and all that stuff. What is our best game this weekend?
let's take a look at the schedule. What is the best
Jayhawks,
game?
Oklahoma State. Could be a good one.
Oregon
Washington.
and Washington
There it
is
is.
the game of the week.
Washington.
There
Yeah.
That's
it
the
is.
game of the week.
It's a good game.
And USC, Notre Dame, Miami, North Carolina. Though Miami lost, but still should be an entertaining football game. And UCLA travels to Oregon State.
Miami,
those are
North
some
Carolina is playing.
Yeah, again,
on that one.
Miami
Yeah, he
lost,
said
but it still matters because Miami can get back in the ACC and knock North Carolina out of the title picture potentially.
Yeah, very well could.
Yeah.
Like they did in the basketball season.
Yeah,
Oregon Washington
Jim,
is a 3:30 Eastern game, and
That's
Notre
gonna
Dame
be a
is
fun
7:30
game.
Eastern.
that's gonna be a
gonna
fun game.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna be a fun game. Louisville goes to Pitt. I mean, you never know what happens there. You just don't know. Missouri
Right.
travels to Kentucky. I'm interested to see how Missouri bounced back after that loss.
We got some good, decent games here. I'm pretty happy about it, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Iowa, Wisconsin battle coming
And I
at it. That's going to be a fun one.
And I believe the rankings come out either not this week, but I think one more week, and then we get the official.
Where's this AJ Dillon been at all season, folks?
I don't know. Where's he been?
Hey,
it's not
getting his
AJ
goddamn
Dillon.
Quads fucking lined up. That's what he was doing. About
It's not
fucking
AJ
time.
Dillon. Hey, Nick, it's not AJ Dillon. It's the team they're playing this week. Okay.
Well, I don't give a
Raiders-
shit, Scott. He showed up today somehow, some way. Jim, we'll get you out of here on this. Hockey kicks off tomorrow night.
Yes.
Connor Bedard and me, Connor
Preds
Bedard
versus
and
Lightning, baby.
me and
Connor
Tony's
Bedard.
Blackhawks. That's what I fucking said. Connor Bedard.
Bedard.
Bless you.
Bedard.
Connor Bedard.
Bedard.
Who cares? We'll get his name right, okay? I'm gonna be a Blackhawks fan for the rest of my life. Connor Bedard is gonna lead us to the Stanley Cup this year.
Good
no
old
more
Bedard.
rebuild. But Jim, if we were gonna place a bet, oh my god, he about fucking missed it. If we were gonna place a bet on the two teams to hoist the Stanley Cup, which was at Vegas today at the game tonight, what two teams are we putting all our money on?
Vegas.
Yep,
Scott and I, we
Vegas.
talked about this last week.
We
Vegas is
was
one
all
team.
about it last week, but somebody was missing in this room.
He's missing tonight, too, so to speak.
This is why it's Monday Night Maniacs. I'll take Vegas.
Right.
I'll definitely put money on Vegas. The other team, man, do I really trust any of these other teams? But if you had to place a bet for fun, I'd say Jersey just because.
All
For
right.
fun.
The Golden Knights are repeating champs,
Hey,
is what you're saying.
hey,
We're putting the
we-
farm on the Knights.
Tomorrow. If I was to throw down a bet, am I looking at on one of these three games? Am I looking at
man.
over on goals? Am I looking at the goal
Always
line?
over on goals.
Always over on
always.
goals on week one.
Always.
Well,
always.
Especially like Seattle and Vegas have to be a pretty high scoring one, right?
Let's
That
go
feels like it's
Kraken,
gonna-
baby.
That
was
feels
that-
like
was
it
that
could be a
another
high
team?
scoring affair. Yeah,
Was it the
was
Kraken
that-
and the
yeah,
Blackhawks?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't remember.
I
Seattle.
think Blackhawk and Penguins are going to be high. I think all three games could go high, to be honest.
Or maybe
Like,
that was
I really do.
Buffalo. I feel like it was Buffalo.
I have more confidence
Buffalo.
betting the Vegas-Seattle
What?
game tomorrow.
You know
than
why?
Vegas.
I think I'd rather bet the Vegas Seattle game because like you don't know what you're going to get from Nashville and Tampa and Pittsburgh
Yeah.
and Chicago is going to be fun, but
I'm
we'll see
going
what happens.
tomorrow morning. I'm betting and I'm going over on the goals. I think it's going to be
It's over 6 right now for the Kraken and Golden Knights game. So
it's going over. It's going over.
Oh yeah, I think you go over 6 in that game.
Yeah.
Vegas
I
alone
can't
for
remember
5 in the net.
I can't remember my second team that I picked. Was it the Kraken or was it Buffalo? I can't remember. Which team?
Kraken.
The Blackhawks are out west or the east?
Blackhawks are out west.
So it can't be Seattle, right? Because I got to have one in each conference. So I think it was the Sabres.
Yeah, but
Buffalo
you said
Sabres.
you didn't want to do Sabres. You said you want to go Seattle.
Yeah. You said you want to Seattle.
I can't, but they're the same. They're the same conference as the
matter.
Blackhawks.
You're the one picking your team. It's not us.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking, hey, wait a minute. How do we overlook the biggest news of the day in the National Hockey League today?
Because Jim, is this thing called football on. That's how I fucking miss it. That's how.
Well, I'm just saying. Wait a minute. Rasmus Dahlin signed an 8-year, $88 million extension, and the 2 guys that we thought in Winnipeg were going to get traded signed 7-year identical $59.5 million contracts, 8.5 AAV, which nobody saw coming. Like, literally nobody saw coming. Hellebuyck had 1 foot out the door. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to stay. I want to chase a cup. I don't really want to sign here long term. I'm really interested to see what these guys have to say tomorrow in their press conference because something had to have changed, especially for Hellebuyck, because he was out the door. But the asking price, especially for Hellebuyck, was really high. Shifley, it was high too because they want to retool on the fly, not rebuild. But I'm going to be interested to hear what the general manager and the players have to say tomorrow about this. Because I know Winnipeg is either a playoff team this year or they missed by just a little bit. They're still in the murky middle, as I like to say.
Is that going to put them in a cap situation possibly down the road here in the next year or two?
No, because if the cap is supposed to go up like the projections are saying, the cap will go up $4 to $5 million. Again, believe it when you see it. Gary talked last week about early indications, and these are very, very. He stressed it like multiple times. Preliminary estimates that it's going to go up $4 to $5 million. It shouldn't put them in cap purgatory because they're very reasonable contracts. $8.5 million, not bad. Even if it only goes up a couple of million, that's not that terrible. It's not. Buffalo's contract is pretty good too, but Winnipeg should be fine to make other moves. Same with Buffalo. What's surprising is that Ottawa is in cap purgatory because of the stuff that they did. They don't even still have Shane Pinto signed, and they should have done it in the first place before they made all their other moves. And then worry about the cap like, Toronto did, where they basically told Matt Murray, you're going to wait to get your surgeries so we can put you on LTIR. And Jake Muzzin, we're going to pay you to become a scout because you can't play anymore. So that solves that cap problem in Toronto. Then, obviously, Anaheim, what they did, it was crazy to wait so long with Zegras and Drysdale to get those deals done. Just very, very strange, in my opinion, especially Drysdale when they needed to get him into camp. Zegras, he wanted his money, but Drysdale missed last season with a torn labrum. He needed to be in camp as a defenseman. He needed to be in camp early.
Jim, we need your Thursday night pick before you get out of here. It's
another shitty game.
The Broncos versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 10.5 favorites. Who do you like here?
It is
Kelsey playing?
Pretty crap. Kelsey's playing, I think.
ENT today.
Maybe.
I expect him to play Thursday.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs should win minus 10.5.
The Broncos might be the worst team outside of Scott's Patriots. I don't know.
Carolina.
The problem is you don't know what Chiefs team's going to show up though. That's the problem.
Right.
Chiefs don't cover either.
You don't know what offense is going to be there.
You don't know. Did they cover last week in Minnesota? No, they didn't, right?
No,
they didn't cover.
3.5.
Yeah.
3.5.
Or was it a backdoor? Or was it a backdoor cover?
No, they covered. They covered.
They covered,
right?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They won by 7. So yeah, they covered.
I would bet every Pacheco over you can.
I think I would rather go over in the game than betting the fucking line. But oh well.
It's not what we do here, Jim. We bet the spread.
Chiefs 10.5. Screw it. The hell with it.
All right, Jim. You're a savant, brother. I know you're going to be sitting. What are you watching tomorrow? Are you watching? How many TVs are you going to have on tomorrow, Jim? Are you watching both Dynamite and NXT and hockey opening? What the like? How are you going to handle all that tomorrow? I don't like how many TVs are you going to have on?
Nick, the only game to watch tomorrow in the NHL is Vegas, Seattle. That's
I'm gonna watch Bedard. I'm gonna watch Bedard. The Bedard. I'm gonna watch Bedard. So I'll probably have my TV on and a couple of tablets going as well to just watch wrestling on. I may throw the wrestling on the TV at 8 because I have the app, so I can throw the hockey on the app on my tablet, so I can do that. So it's definitely a multi-screen night. The sad part is I'm more interested in wrestling than opening night hockey because it's gonna be awesome. It's just gonna be an awesome night.
Well, that's because hockey doesn't get over, Jim. You don't really probably have to start paying attention to it till New Year's Day, right? Well, for me, I actually have to pay attention to it. Yeah. Okay, for us Stooges, you don't have to.
You Stooges don't have to wait. You guys can wait till January 1st to start paying attention if you want.
All right, fair enough, Jim. That's why we bring you on every Monday to give us updates on the hockey world. So go Blackhawks tomorrow, Jim. I hope you have fun time with all 30 of your screens going on with the wrestling and the hockey, brother. Have a good day, brother. We appreciate it. Have a great week. We miss you, brother. See you.
Hey, miss you guys. Always a pleasure to be here. Monday Night Maniacs. Anything's possible. Love being here. Started since day one. And remember, whose game is it? This is for Sam. LA Knight. Yeah, it's my game as well.
Everybody saying.
Everybody says LA Knight. Guys, have a good night. Enjoy it. Yeah.
Bye,
we'll see you again next week.
See you, Jim. Appreciate you, buddy.
Peace out, boys.
Thank you, Jim. Well, Tanner, does his use of monitors make you jealous to watch that much stuff? Okay.
If I want to,
let me get in.
I'll post up over here, and I'll have 2 monitors on the left with 2 different stuff, 2 monitors on the right with 2 different stuff, and still have my main screen going. I ain't jealous.
Woo! Was that a horse collar?
Yeah, horse collar. Let me get to that. Let me get to the ad read.
Before you get to the ad read, to me, Sam and you should get off the screen so Jonathan and Nick can have the shouting match for 5 minutes.
Man. This is about to be a bloodbath, dude.
Listen,
hold on.
I'm a married man.
And then we can go to the bloodbath.
This is all the excitement I'm going to get. Okay, this is it. This is it for me.
Well, I see he's in the screen. He don't got his damn Packer shirt on. That's for sure. So you better fucking go get it right now.
Don't you worry. He always has it with him.
All right, let me, and he's got a cigar for some reason, and we'll get to some of that here in a minute too. When our community wins with us, we want to ensure you've maximized your return on investment. Line shopping for best odds matter, and that is why any profitable sports bettor needs to be using multiple sports books. Thankfully, there has never been a better time to get signed up, and we're here to connect you with the best promotions industry-wide. Using our link, signupexpert.com/let's talk. You can get access to all sports books in your region, along with a review of each platform and its unique features. Most importantly, the page automatically connects you to the top promotions at each bank or each book, allowing you to start line shopping with an enhanced bankroll.
Connections.
If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sports book at signupexpert.com/let's talk. All right, let's bring in our guest. He's feeling himself. His Saints kicked the shit out of Scott's Pats last night. The Braves come back to win tonight to even up the series. I know he was shitting himself all the way up to about the 7th inning. He was nervous, probably scared that the Braves were going to blow it more than a girl named Debbie went to Dallas. Honorary Packer fan for 2 weeks as well. Number one, and he's got some big news. I hope he can break it tonight. Give it up for none other than Jonathan Grishman, baby.
Jonathan, what's up, dude?
How's it going, guys?
Glad to see you, buddy.
Oh, he's got his scotch.
Got the scotch, got the cigar, yes.
You don't have the shirt on, though.
Well, first off, so I have the shirt. I'll put the shirt on. But somebody wasn't here last week for the first week of the 2-week bet.
I admit, yeah, last week counts. Last week counts. There was witnesses, so I'm not saying last week didn't count.
And I have the shirt. I'll put it on here in a second, but I got to rep my Braves with the comeback and making it a series. And yes, I was sweating more than a whore in church during that game. But I mean, again, the sleeping giant awoke. The long ball came back, and hey, Braves showed they flexed their muscles and made it a series. So I got the cigar, I got the scotch. I'm celebrating one win. We got 2 more to go before we advance.
Man, Scott, that wasn't very dramatic for me, man. I don't know about you. I didn't fulfill anything. That was empty. I was waiting. I
don't need a cigarette
after. First time, Jonathan was disappointed somebody. You know what I mean?
Let me go put the.
I was hoping for excuses, though. That's what I was. I didn't.
Hey, Jonathan, I don't have no excuses. I was tired last weekend. I went out to dinner with a buddy of mine. I went back, smoked a fatty, and then I passed the fuck out. And so that was that.
Oh my God, they're being cordial. This is stupid. Why do we even watch this anymore?
God. And then I passed out. I was like, hey, I'm not making it. I'm way too tired. I passed the fuck out.
Now I was going to say for Sam's, for Sam in this point, I was hoping for a little bit more. Like, hey, you were coming, you were going to be on the show. You had to go rescue a baby in a tree. A cat that was in a burning building. Something happened, but you were tired.
Hey, man, what
was it?
Jonathan, I was too stoned and too tired. It happens to the best of us every once in a while.
So, Jonathan, Nick's transgressions aside, first of all, congratulations on your Braves. Second of all, congratulations to your Saints for absolutely destroying.
And hopefully, congratulations to the next quarter on your Packers winning.
Lifeless corpse of the Patriots.
There's the unnecessary. There it is.
My congratulations to you on your Saints yesterday.
That was I was nervous. We've talked about it before. I said last week we don't like playing in New England for some reason, but that Saints defense. It set the tone. They set the tone, and I know, and you'll say this, and everybody will say this: the Patriots' offense is not a juggernaut. They're looking to boot Mac Jones out of Massachusetts altogether, but the defense has to step up. And the Saints have to play off their defense, and that's the biggest thing for the offensive side of the ball. We're not expecting Derek Carr. And I say this with Alan on the Wednesday show in the NFC South. We're not expecting Derek Carr to go and throw 300-plus yards and throw for 2 to 3 touchdowns. We don't need him to do that. Essentially, we need Derek Carr to do what Brock Purdy's doing in San Francisco. Let your defense, maintain control of the game. You pick your moments to attack. You score points, get 20 points, and we're able to go and win a ball game from there. And that's essentially what this defense is going to do. It's going to carry them throughout. As long as the offense can be efficient, and the offense was efficient. Again, getting Kamara, getting him in game shape is going to help more so. Then being able to rely on Mike Thomas, being able to rely on Chris Olave, be able to rely on Rashid Shaheed, and be able to utilize the weapons you have. That's all Derek Carr has to do. Don't make mistakes. Pick your moments to attack and keep your defense in the game where they can make a play or two and be able to win a ball game from there.
I agree. 100%.
Jonathan, let's get into some baseball talk. The Braves did come back and win. They were on, upset alert. But who should be worried more now? The Orioles, and I was going to add your Braves in had they lost tonight, but the Orioles are the Dodgers. Who should be worried more? And maybe your Braves should be worried still. I mean, it's 1-1. They got to go to Philly and win at least, one of those games on the road.
Yeah, I'll say this. Thankfully, the Braves did win because I had a big rant going or ready to go as far as just how the offense has gone and what they've been doing. And I'm sitting back, and my girl and I are watching the game, and I'm sitting here just like I'm dissecting on what it should be doing, what we as a team should be doing. So I can let it go for at least one more day and enjoy the win. But right now, from what I'm seeing so far, if I'm the LA Dodgers, I am very, very nervous because, again, you're facing Zach Gallen, Cy Young candidate, and you are being completely outmatched. Well, the problem, too, is you don't have pitching. You don't have pitching. Tony Gonsolin is not coming through that door. Walker Buehler's not coming through that door. Julio Urias is not even allowed in the door. So, I mean, like you're relying on a talented pitcher. I'm not going to say anything bad about Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller is very talented, but he's a rookie. This is brand new world for him. And he's having to essentially take the spot of Buehler or Gonsolin, who have postseason experience, and not just experience, but success in the postseason. And he's having to win a must-win game for the Dodgers. And right now, that's not the case. And with Zach Gallen pitching as well as he is right now, this is a very big problem for the Dodgers, where the offense is kind of what the Braves offense was doing just a little bit ago, not even existent. So this is a problem. I would be nervous if I'm the Dodgers. I think the Orioles, who are already down 0-2, I think they're going to be in a situation that it's do or die for them. I just don't. I think at some point you have to say, if you're down 0-2, you're in a big hole. But I'm going to go with the Dodgers right now. From what I'm seeing, the Dodgers are the team. If it's the Orioles, are going to get eliminated first because they're going to play tomorrow, and Game 3 is tomorrow. But for a surprise, I'm looking at the Dodgers, because we've said the Rangers were the better matchup, against Baltimore. They had the advantage because of the offensive power they have, and the pitching can be good. They can match the pitching of the Orioles. I don't think anybody really expected the Dodgers, as much as as Scott and I have ridiculed the Dodgers all season. I don't think we expected the Dodgers to lose or really be outplayed by the Diamondbacks in the series as well. So I would put the Dodgers as the surprise right now, and I would be nervous if I'm a Dodgers fan.
Speaking of the Orioles, so is it just they longevity wise, like a long season, they can do this where they don't have to have this power offense, but when it gets, to the postseason where they don't have that guy that can kind of carry them, or that ace that can go out and just, pitch lights out, is that going to cost them when it comes to the postseason? Like, they can be this great regular season team because that plays out through, 4 or 5 months, but when everything's shortened in that postseason and you need a guy, and they don't have that guy in their lineup or that guy on the mound, it don't seem like.
For right now, and yes, that is the case for the Orioles of the 2023 Baltimore Orioles. If let's play hypothetical. Let's say they get swept tomorrow. The Rangers sweep them. They have the experience. They have at least postseason experience, even though it's not a good experience. It's a young team, very young team. They're going to get younger with Jackson Holliday going to play in the big leagues next year. You haven't got other guys who are in the big leagues going to be coming in next year as well. You have experience now, regardless if it's good experience or not. Fast forward, go rewind back to 2018 for the Braves, who were in this position when you had Acuna and Ozzie Albies and Dansby Swanson, who are still all young guys coming into the system through the system. And they lost to the Dodgers in 2018 in a heartbreaking series, but they lost to in the NLDS. That was experience, and it helped them grow. 2019, be able to, or I'm sorry, 2018, 2019 was when we lost to the Dodgers. 2018 was the Cardinal series, I believe it was. But 2018 and 2019, you lose in heartbreaking fashion in the postseason. 2020, COVID year, get it. And you got to the NLCS at that point. You grew to the NLCS in 2020, and that led you to the 2021 World Series. You progress with experience. This Baltimore Orioles team, as young as they are right now, they're going to get younger. They're going to continue to get better, and that's the scary part for that. We're seeing Baltimore, which is what the Braves were in 2018 and 2019. So if you watch that progression of what the Braves have done over the last 4, 5, 6 years, Baltimore's in the same trajectory. Do they need a guy kind of like what the Braves have with Max Fried, who has been a steady ace over the last few years? Yes, they do. Is Jack Flaherty going to be that? Possibly. I just don't know. How long is that going to last for them? But they need a homegrown guy. Maybe they have one in the minors that's going to be there in a couple of years. But they do need a guy, or not a guy. They need the guy at the ace. If they can get that, this team's going to be pretty scary for years to come. But this is it. They just had a bad matchup with the Rangers. That was the right team. That was the wrong team at the wrong time for that Orioles team to face. And you're seeing it right now. But they're going to grow. This Orioles team is going to be very scary over the next few years.
I talked about this I think we talked about this a little bit on Thursday. I thought I thought baseball missed an opportunity. There was no games Friday night, and I said that's the games. That's the day they need to be playing. They need to be playing Tuesday, Wednesday, even some on Thursday and Friday. Like you're getting it mixed in with Saturdays and Sundays with football and college football. And football's king, it really is. TV wise, fan engagement wise, like football's king. Like they missed an opportunity to me to start the series on Friday when they would have been so coverage. Do you agree with that?
So much coverage.
Yeah, I don't understand, and I've been looking at it more and more over the last couple of days. I don't understand the thought process of what Major League Baseball was trying to do, and especially a day off between game in the NL side, at least a day off between game 1 and 2, and then you play game 2, and then you have another day off, a travel day, which is typical. You'll have that in the season. But why have a day off between game 1 and game 2? That throws any kind of rhythm that either one of these teams are going to have completely. It made no sense. I agree. You didn't need. Did they expect? I guess did they expect to have 4 sweeps?
I think if necessary for a lot of those games, that wild card round was supposed to be game 3 on Thursday, if necessary. Which not a single one of them went to fucking 3 games. So
right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they expected 4 sweeps in the wild card.
Correct.
Wild card round. So that's why they pushed it to have that series start on Saturday. No matter how you go about it, you're going to end up competing with the NFL. There's just no way of avoiding it. Whether it's on a Monday night, which where we have tonight, we have the NLDS going on tonight. You're going to compete with it, or you're going to have games compete on Sunday, which we had the American League DS go on. So you can't avoid the NFL no matter what you're doing. And that's what the NFL wants. They wanted this. That's why they have Thursday football, they have Sunday football, they have Monday, and then later in the year, which they're them in the NBA, they're going to have Saturday football as well. So you can't avoid the NFL.
Yeah. The NFL's. I mean, like I said, they got games. The NBA used to be on Christmas, right? That was NBA's day. The NFL said, "Fuck that, we're taking it."
Correct.
Black Friday. Oh shit! Everybody's sitting at home on Black fucking Friday. Get your asses home. Quit shopping. All the men. Hey, guess what? There's NFL on fucking Black Friday. Like the NFL is gonna hog it all and try to take it all anytime they can get it.
So trying to be cute with the schedule makes no sense in doing it the way they did. And again, like I said, I won't make it as an excuse, but I'm sitting here thinking, man, if I'm one of these teams, if I'm a manager, if I'm a coach on one of these teams, I'm sitting here thinking there's no way for us to get into a rhythm. And why is the NL side having the day off and the American League didn't have to have that issue in the first place? Yeah. It makes no sense on how they structured the National League side. It made no sense to do it.
I didn't understand that either, why they had the day break in between. I know typically, right, it's NL one day, AL on the other side. So maybe they're like, shit, we started them at the same time. We need to get somebody needs to go off schedule so we're not having all 4 games on at the same time.
At the same time, if you have all 4 going on Sunday, you're competing with the noon kickoff of the NFL all the way through Sunday night football. And they didn't want to do that. But as you said, okay, so why not have the series start on Friday? Why not?
That's what I said.
In essence of it, start the wild card game 1s on Monday, which again, yes, the season ends on Sunday. You get everything figured out. You have to have a travel day. I get it. I understand you need to travel so there's no unfair advantage, more so than the home field side is going to get. But you've got to structure the schedule a little bit better. Find a way to make it work to where you don't have this crap off day that just absolutely throws everything for a loop for one side of the bracket. Versus the American League continues doing like this, like it's it's the same old type of schedule. It just makes no sense on what they try to do. And if I'm one of the managers if I'm the manager of the Braves and Phillies, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, I'm sitting there scratching my head like, why did we draw the straws on this? It makes no, it throws everything. A lot of arguments again for it is, well, you can use your bullpen on game 1, have that off day, and you can use your bullpen again on in game 2. Great. But that still means I have to overwork those guys a little bit more because now they're pitching. If let's just say Phillies, who had a bullpen game 1, and they did it because they know they had the off day. But let's just say Zach Wheeler didn't pitch well. Now you have to pitch your bullpen again fully in game 2, which guys like Alvarado pitched again in game 2. You have the off day, so you're going to be able to utilize that, but you're going to use them in 3 straight games, which they probably will. But that's a lot of innings already. That's a lot of work on that arm in the NLDS. If they advance, How is Alvarado going to pitch in the NLCS or possibly even the World Series after so much work in such a short amount of time? It's very challenging to be able to structure work around a schedule that you're not accustomed to, and be able to still succeed in that process.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this last year with Nick, myself, and you, and we talked about just the fact that they have that day break, the fact the way they have to manage these kind of rosters in the games they have, and how much it shouldn't be this way. You know, that we complained about it last year. I know we did. I know we talked about this because it's the same thing.
I feel like we did too. Yeah.
So, and this is where you have that seventh team. You know, you have 7 teams or 6. I think it's 6 teams still. So you have 6 teams right now.
16, yeah.
All right. So why I'm trying to sit here and think like structure the
go back to where it's the one wild card. The 2 teams play the one game and just fucking that. I love that scenario. I mean, it popped up.
There was so much complaints about one game being a deciding factor. People, the media, it was the media loved talking about it, but the media itself hated it, and that's what caused Major League Baseball to say, well, you know what, we can actually get a little bit more money out of it. We add another team into the wild card and give 2 teams a bye and be able to go from there and structure it as a 3-game series. But you're stretching things out too much, I think, where you have 3 games and then you're trying to figure out. You're sitting there trying to figure out how do we compete with the NFL without competing with the NFL. And again, like I said, you can't. You can't avoid the NFL and what you're trying to schedule as, because it's there. The NFL is going to be right there with it. So you either just face it head on and try to get the best ratings which you can get, which I'm sorry, you're going to get good ratings right now. These are good games that you're getting. Besides the Dodgers and Diamondbacks, which was a blowout, you had a good game against the Braves and Phillies in game 1. Even Braves didn't show up, but it was still a pretty intense game. Then you had tonight. You had the Rangers-Orioles game that was intense and close. Even game 2 was intense and close. You had good series going right now. So are you going to get the top level of your ratings? Probably not. But you'll still put good numbers up. And that's what you want as a sport, for TV-wise, is good rating numbers. You're not going to get the great, because that's what the NFL gets. The NFL gets great ratings no matter what. But if you can get ratings that are comparable to what the NBA gets, I would take that if I'm Major League Baseball. Stop trying to be cute with the schedule and just say, you know what, it's postseason play. We will get fans to come watch. Is anybody, I mean, and I know you do, Nick, is anybody really intrigued on the Packers and Raiders? Anybody intrigued by that game on Monday Night Football? Or are you
outside of sports betting? Sports betting is what draws us in, right?
Fantasy and sports betting. Those are the two genres that are interested this tonight.
Call me a purist, but I actually just like football.
But for fantasy purposes, I have the app on the NFL. I can watch and get my updates on that for fantasy football purposes, and still watch postseason.
I will say this: like, if the Packers weren't my team, I would. I'm not saying I would probably like start the game base. I would flip back and forth. I was flipping back and forth even between the pregame and watching the Braves game. I'm just a multiple guy like that. I probably flip between back and forth. And then when one game gets a little tighter, I'll key in on it, right? Like, cause you know what I mean? So, that's just kind of how I watch it. But I think the majority of the United States would rather you say Packers Raiders. They're going to watch Packers Raiders than they would watch, a baseball, just, game 2 of a fucking game like that. The ratings say so.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I'll be intrigued. I'll be intrigued in a couple of days when the ratings come out for game 2, comparable to for the Braves Phillies. How close? Because again, Monday Night Football is going to get a bigger rating. I'm not sitting here saying that game 2 of Braves Phillies in the NLDS is going to get a rating comparable to the NFL. But how close? I want to see. I would like to see here in a few days or a couple of days when that ratings come out for the game 2, just how close it is for you. And if you're Major League Baseball, you say, hey, our game 2, postseason play should get a boost in ratings. How close did we get to Monday Night Football? If you're comparable, right. if you're not too far off on it, that tells you, you know what? We got people watching us. We we can not go. It's not go head to head, but we're not going to get killed in the ratings in that process too. So why not? Why not just say, hey, yeah, we're going to schedule our games. Screw the NFL. We'll do what we can, and by time, who knows? In 2 years, 3 years, maybe that rating gap kind of closes more.
Come on, where's the PI? He was grabbing his fucking jersey.
Jonathan, you're supposed to be yelling with them.
Sorry. Yeah, Jonathan, our Packers are playing. Our Packers are playing, and you're over here bitching about ratings in baseball.
I got an alcohol bath waiting for me when this is over. I can take this shit off. I still got the damn tag when I bought this still on it. I got the receipt.
It's going back to the store tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, I'm returning this shirt. But I gotta ask.
Me? What size you wear? I'm a 2X guy. I'm a 2X. So if you're 2X,
XL.
No, little guys. You know what I mean? Just a little guy.
All right, let's get back to it. We talked about the ratings gap possibly closing, which could be a thing. I mean, just think about it, though. Like we talked about this last year too. Like, what if they shorten the season and started this thing in September sometime instead of October, going into November, right? Just think of it could be a difference. It's also the start of the season, which might hurt a little bit at first. Maybe you have the wild card stuff during that first of the season, but you're still able to draw your attention because baseball is still now coming off of that high because it's the only sport on.
The problem is, and we've seen this with the NFL, is no owner wants to make less games because that means less money. So and you can't push the season. You can't push Major League Baseball season earlier in March because cities like Minnesota and Cleveland, Cincinnati, Colorado, New York, the weather's awful in March. So you can't go earlier in the year. And the owners are not going to want to say they're not going to want to go to 155 or 152 games. They're not going to want to lose 10 games off their schedule because that just means less money. Even though they know more money in the postseason is going to happen, because as you said, if you can get the season going or the postseason going a little bit sooner, it's like in the latter part of September, where the NFL is just getting their feet wet, you can get more people to attend. You can get more eyeballs on. I agree with you on that. But they don't want to lose 8 to 10. You're going to have to shrink it 10 games to 152. This is what you're going to have. You're going to have to go back to about 152 games, which is what they had in the early 1900s. But the owners are not going to want to lose that extra money that they're making in the end of the season, especially as that's the last two weeks of a season is basically postseason ball anyway for teams that are in contention.
Yep.
Would Major League Baseball consider scheduling more doubleheaders?
No.
To cut the season down a little bit, or do you think they just would stick with what they have now and go from there?
Gosh.
So if again, baseball historian, the baseball story, they used to do doubleheaders quite a bit back in the day.
Let's play 2, baby.
But that was also when players were making $100 compared to $100 million. So the value of the players matters so much more that you're not going to tell these guys, hey, we're going to start scheduling doubleheaders. All right, and you're just going to play 2 games and you're going to deal with it. That's not going to work.
Could you imagine that? Like today's players being told, hey, you're going back to the high school days. You're going to play a doubleheader today, instead of, I didn't want to know what that drama session would be like.
And to the point of that as well, Major League Baseball they're making sure they can get fans back into the stadiums, and the increase in attendance is there this year. Now, how much is that attendance going to stay the same or continue to increase if you have double headers? Because now you're going to, instead of spending 2.5 to 3 hours at a stadium, you're going to spend 6 hours.
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to get it.
Not going to happen. So I don't see that ever being a case unless, again, rainouts being the case. For doubleheaders, that's that's a weather issue. But you're not going to schedule doubleheaders because, again, the players make too much money. They're too valuable. Players Union will not go for it. As well. And at the same time, you're not going to get fans to show up. Say if you have a new a 11 o'clock game, and then you're going to play a 5 o'clock game, you're going to sell out. You're going to sell 40% of the stadium, probably 50% of the stadium of that first game at 11 o'clock, and then say, all right, we're going to play again at 6 o'clock. No.
Could you imagine these guys walking up? It's 110 out, and they're like, "Hey, let's go 15." Like they would always get it back to 9.
No.
When we were younger, our 2 double headers. A lot of times, a lot of players, I never did, but a lot of players would say, "Hey, let's just do a 9-inning game." And it's like, I mean, what do you do? 15?
Well, we kind of saw a version of that during COVID where they had the double header scheduled. It was 7 ball. They played 7 innings. They played 7 innings of ball game. So I mean, and players hated that. They liked that it was a shorter game. They liked
God damn it.
That it was a shorter game. So like, hey, we don't have to be at the ballpark very long. But the game itself being 7 innings, players didn't like that at all because again, it's just it just threw off everything timing wise.
Yeah, big time. Nick, you okay?
Nick's doing a show. It's getting in the way of us watching the game.
It bounced up in the air and it got intercepted.
Yeah, we know.
That's
Fucking obviously, Sam. We fucking know. Okay.
Bad throw by Jordan Love.
Hey, you always remind me when my team stinks. I figured I'd return the favor. Okay.
God.
I hope this shirt, me wearing this shirt for you, Nick, is worth it just to have your team lose to the Raiders.
We stink right now.
We stink.
I told you that before the season started.
But it was.
I don't know anything.
But Sam, remember, it's early in the season now. It's still
It
early.
is.
That's right. Yeah.
We still stink.
The thing is, it's about week 1. Okay, that was the whole thing. But thank you for salting that wound. I appreciate it.
Ain't nobody's team any good besides Tanner's team on this whole fucking show besides John's Dolphins, and he's not even here tonight.
This is all true. Yeah,
this is true.
Not one and nobody else's team's any damn good outside of those 2 guys.
All right, so I gotta know, Jonathan.
Mad,
man.
bro?
I gotta
you
know.
Your feelings.
These Dodgers are still down versus Arizona, possibly. I mean, we're in the 5th, 3-1. Dodgers go down 0-2. It's a thing that we've seen for the last few years. They come back. Do you think they have a chance to come back if they go 0-2 at home? At home,
they're down 3-1 right now. They're down 3-1.
They're down 3-1, but they lost the first game. If they lose this game at home, both games at home,
for Arizona, this is a must win. You have to if you're Arizona, you're treating this like it's game 5. Because if you have a series that is tied 1-1, Braves and Phillies, if this series is tied 1-1, advantage is Dodgers. Because as I'm kind of looking at it, I'm wanting to see how Game 3 is going to be for Braves Phillies. Was this the waking up moment for the Braves offense? And if they go into the Game 3 and their offense just catches fire, that was the moment. If the Dodgers come back and beat the Diamondbacks, is that going to be the moment this series turns in the Dodgers' favor? This has to be treated like Game 5 for the Diamondbacks. If you have a 2-0 lead going home, you have the clear-cut advantage. Because are you afraid of Lance Lynn pitching in Game 3 if you're the Diamondbacks? No, you're not.
No, not at all.
And in Game 4, Kershaw potentially going to pitch in Game 4.
I don't know. If I'm a Diamondback, I'm hoping Kershaw's pitching Game 4 because
that's my point. Though, if it's a 2-0,
what happened in Game 1,
and that's my point. If it's a 2-0 series, you're not afraid of Lance Lynn, and you're not afraid of Clayton Kershaw going against you with a 2-0 series lead. If it's a 1-1 series lead, that's a little bit different. So for Arizona, they have to win this game because
not a holding to a field goal
fire right now. If the Dodgers catch fire, they have momentum going to Arizona. Arizona's not a fearful place to play. So this is a moment where the Dodgers can if they win this game, take clear cut
momentum back.
You just beat their ace, much like the Braves just did. Braves came back and beat Zach Wheeler. You beat their ace. So
now
you
beat their bullpen. The bullpen kind of fell.
But you don't have to.
The difference between the Dodgers.
You won a game that you weren't supposed to really win with Zach Wheeler on the mound. Wheeler in his career has owned Atlanta. Like that is a clear cut, and he owned them. I can't tell you how many text messages. Oh, Wheeler's going to throw a no hitter against Braves in the postseason. They're going to be a part of statistics for MLB history. I got some. That's he does that against the Braves almost on every time he goes out and pitches them. But you won a game that you weren't supposed to win. Just like Game 1, the Phillies won Game 1 that they weren't supposed to win with Strider on the mound. So now it makes things a little bit interesting with that series. for the Diamondbacks, you have Gallen on the mound right now. You're not supposed to lose this game. You're not supposed to lose this game. So if you do end up losing this game, you talk about a complete momentum swing in favor of the Dodgers that changes the course of this series, and puts Diamondbacks in a hole, even though it's a 1-1 series. But if it's a 2-0 series lead, if Diamondbacks do win this game with a 2-0 series lead, it's just about over because you're not afraid of Lance Lynn and you're not afraid of Clayton Kershaw in game 3 or game 4.
That's the difference this year. The Dodgers had Gonsolin or Buehler or somebody in the recent past going in game 3, 4, or 5. This year, it's a bunch of nobody. Lance Lynn, he could implode in game 3, and that could be it. So I agree with John. If the Diamondbacks win tonight, this Arizona could close.
I believe the stat was on Kershaw is the first pitcher in the history of postseason baseball to give up 5 runs before ever getting an out.
Insane.
So, and that happened game 1.
And then, like I said, I love Clayton. He was a buddy of mine from my high school days in Dallas. It breaks my heart because he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. He's going to be, he's considered one of the best pitchers of Dodgers history, up there with Sandy Koufax. And it's just something about postseason play for him that just, besides the 2020, is something about postseason play that it shoots him in the foot. And
every time,
as a great of a pitcher that he is, he has that cloud over him. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. There was a conversation I heard on Mad Dog Russo, and they were saying that, Russo saying that he's a Hall of Famer, but with a question mark because of his postseason success and lack of success that he's had. He's a Hall of Famer. Clayton Kershaw will be in the Hall of Fame regardless of the lack of success that you want to call that he's done. Again, at this point of his career, he's not a number 1 pitcher anymore. But he has to be the number 1 pitcher because
by circumstance,
you're not trusting Bobby Miller to be the number 1 right now. You're not trusting Lance Lynn to be the number 1. You don't have your number 1 this year in Buehler. You don't have your number 2 in Gonsolin. Clayton Kershaw, when everybody's healthy, Kershaw's your number 3, maybe number 4. Really, in number 4, if you had Buehler, Urias, and Gonsolin, that's your 1, 2, 3. Kershaw's your number 4 right now in 2023. But he has to be the number 1 guy. And tell me any team that goes into game 1 with their number 4 pitcher is going to have success going in there. No matter how good Kershaw has been, he's not the same pitcher he was 5, 7, 8 years ago. He's your number 4. What team is going to have success with the number 4 guy in the rotation leading their staff in a postseason series? Nobody is.
Nobody.
Well, this brings the question: is Kershaw going to retire after this year, or do you think he's going to come back?
I think he'll come back. I don't know if it's going to be in LA though. I don't know if it's going to be in LA. I think if Alan's listening, I do. There has been moments where there's been conversations that Kershaw wants to come back to Dallas.
Yeah,
he wants to raise his kids. He wants to raise his family in the Dallas area. He wants to, so there's been inklings of that. I think I could see him. That could be the Dodgers' decision. I don't know if it's Kershaw's decision because Kershaw wants being compared to Koufax is what drives Kershaw to stay in LA. Yeah. And being able to retire in LA is, I think, the factor for him. I think he still wants to pitch one more season, at least get another successful season. And I think it'll be up to the LA Dodgers to decide is it going to be with them one more year or not. If the Dodgers decide to move on, I think then he goes to Arlington and pitches for the Rangers. If the Dodgers say, hey, we will have Buehler back. We're gonna, they won't have Gonsolin next year because he's under Tommy John. You won't have Urias, so they're gonna have to replenish their rotation more and get Bobby Miller a little bit more experience in that not being your number 2 or 3, but you get a little bit more experience and put Kershaw back as a 3 or 4 pitcher. You have something there for you. But it's going to be up to the Dodgers to decide how they're going to want to structure the rotation. If they want to get a little bit younger, then I could see them moving on from Kershaw, and he could either just say, I'm going to retire, or he can go pitch for the Rangers and return home to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Good block, Major.
Man, that'd be some crazy stuff. Would it be all those pitchers in Texas? Do they all have contracts with Texas then?
Scherzer is still under. He opted into his contract for 2024, which after 2024 he'll be a free agent. More likely he'll retire at that point. I think Evaldi's still under contract for next year. Or
I thought he had 2 years left.
Obviously, DeGrom's got it. He's under contract. This just depends on how he's going to be. But you could essentially have a rotation. Obviously, if DeGrom gets healthy, you could have a rotation of Jacob DeGrom, Max Scherzer, and Clayton Kershaw for the Rangers as your 1 through 3.
All you need is Kershaw and maybe to pull out some Verlander magic in that age, and then you still have Evaldi in that as well. Potentially Evaldi, which if he's under a 1-year deal, you more likely will see him sign a contract with Texas. I think he's comfortable in Texas, but I think he's still under contract for 2024. Yeah. I think so. And then you still have some young guys and I actually threw the scenario out there last week with Allen and Scott. If that let's just say if that is the case, you do get Kershaw to come home. You have DeGrom get healthy, Scherzer back healthy. That's your 1 through 3. You have Evaldi as your number 4. You could trade 2 of your pitching prospects to go get Pete Alonso from the Mets and have him injected in that lineup with the Rangers behind Garcia and Heim and Simeon and Seager. Then essentially you could have Alonso, Seager be your 3, Alonso be your.
Are we there? Is everybody there?
Did he pull a Nick?
Yeah.
You hear me?
No, I got you now. All right, you're back.
Yeah. Hey, Jonathan.
So that'd be a hell of a lineup.
It would be. I think that'd be an interesting. Again, if that's the move you want, I think I could see them even if they don't get Kershaw. I could see that being a case that if they go get another starting pitcher to add into that rotation, somebody's going to give you innings. So you don't know what you're going to get with DeGrom innings wise. You don't know what you're going to get with Scherzer innings. So if you add another pitcher in that rotation, and then you want to and you have the luxury to trade, a couple of your pitch like Jack Leiter in a package, go make. If I'm the Rangers, I'd go get that move because Alonso in that lineup is better than what you got with Lowe in that lineup. And it just makes it a little bit deeper to where the 2024, if you're the Rangers, 2024 is your year to pass the Astros. It's absolutely to pass the Astros because you're a younger team. You are a talented team, but you're on the cusp of beating them. You need a little bit more. So you get another pitcher in that lineup, trade some pitching prospects with it in a package, go get Pete Alonso. And now you have a lineup with some pitching that will challenge and potentially beat the Astros in 2024.
Jonathan, speaking of the Astros, do the Twins got a chance here? They were able to take home field advantage. It's 1-1 going back to Minnesota. How we feel about the Twins in that series?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I did not expect the Twins to actually, to split with the Astros here, and they're going home.
I think they're beatable. We talked about it last week. They're beatable.
They are beatable, but again, the Twins' offense, they're hitting. I mean, we talk. I said in order for the Twins to win games, they have to keep the score low. Did anybody really think that the Twins were going to score 6 runs?
No.
In any game that they were going to play in, score 6 runs to win a game, I didn't think that. Game 1 is exactly what they did not want. They don't. If the Astros jump up 4, 5, 6 runs, they don't have the firepower to beat them. And that's how that's how the Astros won game 1. But with the pitching that you have, with Pablo Lopez pitching outstanding in game 2, and now you have Sonny Gray going in game 3, you have the advantage pitching wise right now. So again, talking about how I'm saying with the Diamondbacks right now that this is their game 5, they have to win this. With Sonny Gray on the mound and your advantage in the pitching and on the mound in that game, and you have to treat that as a must-win game for you. You cannot. You have to jump ahead. Because as the pitching gets a little bit harder, if your number 1 and number 2 guys are already gone, you have to find other ways to win. And the way that the offense is going for them Twins, I mean, they can do it. I think they and again, I'm praising the Twins, but they're actually showing me a little bit of life, something that they haven't shown all season. But they can. They have the pitching to beat, not just match the Astros. They have the pitching to beat them, and if they can keep that, scoring 3, 4, 5, 6 runs, I think we can see an upset. I think we can see an upset going on in Minnesota.
We saw Sonny. I think he only pitched 4 or 5 innings in the game against Toronto for the wild card. So I mean, he's not coming off a long lengthy start.
Innings, I want to say
he's not coming off a long lengthy start. He's not coming off a 90, 100 pinch game. This was in the 70s, I believe it was, that he finished up. So like him coming in at home with a packed crowd, that energy that's going to be in Minnesota, Houston's got to get on top of him quick.
And with the bullpen, so again, if you get a lead, even if it's a 3-1, 3-0, type of lead, that bullpen is really good. Minnesota's bullpen is really good. So that's why I say if it's a low scoring game, that's advantage Minnesota. And if they can jump ahead early, and just get a 2-run lead, it could be lights out. It could be lights out. Duran right now showing that he's probably one of, if not the best closer in baseball right now. He's electric as can be. So I mean, you have the advantage in the starting rotation, and you have the advantage in the bullpen right now. So it's the pressure does fall on the Twins offense. If they can continue this little trek that they're on, like I said, I think we could see an upset. We can absolutely see an upset of Minnesota beating the Astros in this series.
But guys, tune in tomorrow because Let's Talk Rangers starts at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Zing, baby, zing.
Jonathan, we'll get you out of here. You got some breaking news. Can you share that news with you want to share that news with everybody?
I can, yes. Last week I had some things going on that I was working on, and I made a trek up to Arkansas last week to meet with school at University of Arkansas, Rich Mountain, little junior college school out there to accept the job of assistant hitting coach and fielding coach for the University of Arkansas Rich Mountain Bucks. So I start up in Arkansas here in a couple of weeks, and get things going with them. I'm looking forward to the opportunity, my first start in college coaching, and hopefully this is the beginning of my trek to work my way up to either big time college ball, potentially pro. I know you guys are my advocates to coach or manage the future Las Vegas A's.
That's right.
This is that first step to me to get to that point, but it's an opportunity that I'm really excited about and looking forward to the beginning of the next chapter of my career. At the moment, Alpha is still going to be going. Alpha is still going to be running. I'm going to be handing it at least running. I'll still be running it from afar, but I won't be coaching in Alpha anymore. But I'm still going to be working with my athletes and helping them achieve their goals still of playing college softball and college baseball. But my tenure of coaching in Alpha will be ending here in a couple of weeks. So bittersweet. It is something that I've been preparing for to happen in a few years. Not right now, but the opportunity was a good opportunity, and I think this was a good start for me to kind of get myself into, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be excited. So here in a few weeks, I'll be doing shows with you guys in Arkansas here in a couple weeks. So that'll be a check.
Only a 6-hour drive, man. That's doable.
Yeah. Hey, we'll have to come down and watch you coach on a home game or something. I'll meet Tanner there. That's not that far from my house either. So less than 6 hours, really.
I haven't seen the full schedule for the spring, but I'm sure we have some games in Missouri here. So I mean, again, we'll get to that point. Also, if that's the case, come watch the game and whatnot, and see us go to work with it.
You know what to do? Just give a message.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, what was the mascot?
One last question.
The mascot?
The Bucks.
Bucks. All right. Well, we're all Bucks here. We're all Bucks. Go Bucks.
So we'll all get free merch pretty soon, right? It's in the mail. It's coming our way. Or is that?
I haven't even gotten my stuff yet. So once I get out to Arkansas, I'll start getting my stuff. I haven't gotten mine yet. Let me get that first, and then we'll start working on getting some gear with you guys here pretty soon.
Everybody except
that's right.
Nick's making you wear this Green Bay stuff. That's
I'll happily rock the Arkansas Buck stuff.
Hey, I'll say, look, he's not making me. I made the bet. We blew the game. It is what it is. I'm so glad this is the last time. That I have to wear this and I can go back and get my money back. And
Tanner, it goes.
But my good, but yeah. So I'm hoping this. I'm hoping this being the last time I have to wear this. This comes with a loss for his Packers as well. So hopefully he gets a little bit of a sour taste in his mouth because of it.
We're losing. We're probably losing tonight to the lowly fucking Raiders. Jordan Love can't throw the goddamn ball down the field to save his life. The offensive line stinks.
Who said that,
What better
Scott?
way?
I would never say such a thing about Jordan Love like that. I can't believe you just said that.
So
I know,
hurtful.
that's the savior, right? I mean, again, you've had
He's
Favre.
the savior.
You've had Favre for so long. You had Rodgers. He's the next great Green Bay Packer quarterback. He's going to be the next
season.
I don't know about that right now.
15 years. The next 15 years, he's going to be the quarterback for the Packers, right?
I don't know right now. I'm not saying it's all on him. It's not all on him, but he has not tonight has not looked great. He can't throw the ball down the field. Offense. I mean, we should have known the offense wasn't going to be worth a damn. It wasn't worth a damn when we had a Hall of Fame fucking quarterback last year back there, much less a kid who's never fucking played. So here we are, probably losing to the lowly fucking Raiders, going below 500. So hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody's here stinks. Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
You keep drafting defensive players. It's a great thing for your team. It's helping your offense out so much in the first round. You keep drafting those linebackers and cornerbacks. So, hey, I mean, you're doing it.
Joe Barry, our defensive coordinator, should have been fired 2 fucking years ago. He's fucking awful too. So get him the fuck out.
Hey, Jonathan, 2 years from now, we go up to Green Bay, Lambeau for the NFL draft. Can't wait to watch a bunch of defensive players being drafted up in Green Bay.
You're gonna keep getting that. You're gonna keep getting that defense up there, and then losing 17 points to the giving up 17 points to the.
I don't even know if I've heard Kyle Van Ness's name all season. Like that was our first overall pick, Kyle Van Ness out of Iowa. I haven't even heard his name. I haven't even heard his name all year.
But not Van Ness.
Well, Quay Walker was a first round pick last year.
Yeah.
Over.
I heard his name.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. When he's not trying to beat up the trainers on the other fucking team, that happened twice last year.
What is it? Give me my turn of the week. Jordan Love.
He doesn't deserve the turd, but he's fucking playing like a turd.
Oh, it's close. The turd is close for Jordan Love. So.
He's got to really fuck up that.
He missed it? Are you
all right?
You're kidding me.
Oh, you're ahead of me? He missed it?
Kidding me. I need 4 field goals. And Daniel Carlson has missed 2.
So watch. Love's going to go on
he missed it. Don't give a fucking shout out. You're ahead of me.
So watch. He just spent the last 3 minutes. He's been the last 3 minutes just dogging Jordan Love. Jordan Love's going to go on a drive. They're going to win this game. He's like, oh yeah, he's our quarterback. He's the angel for Green Bay.
He's the next one.
Hey, Jonathan, that's talking. You fire somebody up. Sometimes you talk some shit into them. You know what I mean?
Reverse psychology, right? Is that what it was?
The Bengals did it. I didn't pick them off. Been picking them all fucking year. They fucking finally show up the week I don't pick them. So you know what, Jordan Love, you suck dick. Okay, you suck. You absolutely suck. Go to and then he goes down.
Pick 6 touchdown for the Raiders. Game's over.
Shut up, Scott. Shut up, Scott. Look, we don't even try to throw it down the field. Like it's just dink and dunk. I hate it. It's just dink and dunk.
Nickel and dime, baby.
Like it's just. Yeah.
All right, I'll bring some semblance back.
One big play.
We need Jonathan's pick. We need Jonathan's pick for Denver, Kansas City. So,
yeah, Denver, Kansas City. It's minus 10.5 for the Chiefs, Jonathan. Before you get out of here.
The Dolphins put up 70 against this Denver defense. I know the Chiefs don't have the weapons that the Dolphins do, but they do still have Pat Mahomes. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I'm gonna take the Chiefs over them. You know what? Sean Payton deserves this, and I love Sean for what he did in New Orleans. And again, but Sean spent the last 2 years that he didn't have Drew Brees. He quit on us, and he quit on the franchise. He quit on the organization. He quit on the fan base. So, and he was waiting for this job. And basically said, I have the quarterback that I wanted, that I didn't have in New Orleans after Drew retired. I'm going to turn him back into this Super Bowl quarterback. You get what you deserve, Sean, because of how you took for granted the franchise that gave you the shot that you won a Super Bowl with, and you dogged the coach that you replaced. you deserve this. So you deserve this horrible start that you're getting, and you should be 0 for on the season if it wasn't for the Bears collapsing. I'm enjoying this moment. I'm enjoying this moment that the Broncos and Sean Payton are struggling and just are a dumpster fire. I'm going to give the Chiefs I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover and win the game.
I like it.
All right, Jonathan. Hey, we appreciate you joining us every Monday. Hey, you got some words to say real fast though before you take that shirt off.
Well, the shirt's already off with it. I'll give it to you though. I said it. I'll give it to you. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear, baby.
But at the last one though, I'll give the tomahawk chop for my Braves for what they did tonight too, though.
That's right.
Hey, we'll see you later, Jonathan. We'll see you next Monday, and best of luck to your Braves.
I appreciate it, guys. Always enjoy it.
See you, brother. New coach of was it West Arkansas, JUCO? I don't know what it was.
It's University of Arkansas Rich Mountain.
He's going
University of Arkansas Rich Mountain. All right, hey, gonna have to go to the University of Arkansas Rich. Hey, first down. That's what I like to see. Get it right, refs. Let's get into our Thursday picks. If everybody's on the Chiefs, just say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're all on the fucking Chiefs. That's
so that means Johnny's on the Broncos. So give Johnny the Broncos.
yeah, give Johnny the Broncos.
It's noted.
Johnny did not say aye, so therefore he wasn't. Scott, you want to start off with our final thoughts and goodbyes as we wrap up this Monday night, and hopefully the Packers fucking comeback win here. Come on, kid.
I'm glad we were here to watch the Nick Botkins entertainment tonight with the Packers Raiders game. So
it's good to see him passionate. I like it.
Yeah. Again, this is always a great time. This is always fun to do Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. I look forward to it every time that the day comes. So I know, of course, with everybody. Oh. It's a great time. Thursday night, watch us. It's the Thursday night picks extravaganza, so to speak, and there will be new leaders, and you guys will not be happy with who the new leaders are because I already figured it out today. Sorry.
See, I couldn't even write it down because it'll go. So I'll have to write it down. I got to catch back up, but I'll get it done tomorrow.
There are co-leaders of the picks. So again, enjoy the show.
There we go. First down.
Hopefully Johnny's okay. He's doing fine. But looking forward to Thursday night.
Sam, any final thoughts here?
Good to see you passionate, Nick. I find it very funny that we can't chastise you for your team being bad, but you can. So it's a little weird dichotomy we got going.
We're gonna do it anyway.
That's how I am, Sam. You can't talk shit to me. I don't allowed to talk shit to myself and to you. That's it. That's how it works.
Okay. Oh, is that it? All right. Cool.
That's how heels work. That's how heels work. Yeah. That's how.
Is that how it works? Yeah. Shut your bitch ass mouth. Anyway, so
exactly.
Love being on the show, guys. Love being with you guys. You guys, this is your last shot of the beard for a while. So my Titans lost to the Colts. Now I have to grow the Ethan Hawke goatee.
Ooh, I forgot about the bet. So on Thursday, is that when we'll see the Ethan Hawke goatee?
You'll see it tomorrow too on the AFC South round table.
Okay, so we won't watch it. I mean, we're gonna see it Thursday. All right,
I'll just send you a picture. Anyway, so you turn.
Oh my God! Catch your goddamn ball.
Anyway,
he was right in the fucking hands. That's how one play got intercepted.
We've talked about this stuff before. Being passionate about something. Look how passionate Nick is. I was passionate Sunday too, even though my Titans let me down. I'm sure Scott was. It's over. That's right. No, Scott. We just go win loss all the way down the freaking schedule. Apparently. Even Scott's passionate, and I know as well as Tanner's passionate. If you're passionate about something, I hope it brings you joy. That's all I got.
It's over.
It's over. It's over.
He throws. Don't tell me you're ahead of me, and I feel like you're about to say something fucking incredibly stupid. Oh, he's gonna get sacked. Throws interception. Yep. Oh, he dropped it. No, he caught it.
They say it's an interception, touchback.
Motherfucker!
It's
over.
It's over.
And I did find my cheese head, by the way. It was behind my TV the whole time. Who would have thought?
Was that your final thoughts, Tanner? That's cruel.
Tanner,
That's really
Tanner
cool.
uses his cheese head as a paperweight, just so you know. It's a paperweight
Man,
to hold the papers.
guys,
Look at Martin Davis's girlfriend up there.
I don't really know what else to say here. I needed 3.5. I need over 3.5
where's
field
the
goal
pass
kicks.
interference? First of all,
It's 3.5 field goal made, right? That's it. They kicked 5 field goals today, guys. They only made 3 because Daniel Carlson can't kick a damn ball. Raiders raided again in that aspect. So thanks,
good.
Daniel. Appreciate
you mean you didn't hit your bet? You didn't hit your bet? Is that what you're saying?
Didn't hit my bet.
You didn't hit your bet?
Because Daniel Carlson can't hit a freaking field goal.
Oh, you didn't win your bet? Good. I'm glad.
I'm
glad you didn't win. I'm glad you didn't win.
All right, Jeremy.
I won mine.
Packers go down.
That's the worst. You know what the worst fucking part is you got Bears fans, you got Lions fans just dancing on our fucking grave because the Lions for the first time in 60 fucking years have a fucking team. You know what? So they just want to shit on the fucking Packers. You know what? Shut the fuck up.
It's their turn to shit on you, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Let everybody when you're in the position
on the dog's head.
It comes from
just because you're at the bottom scraping the barrel with the Raiders and the Bears and the Giants doesn't mean the other teams can't shit on you either.
Sounds pretty elitist, Nick.
What do you think we're going through up here in New England now? Everybody's shitting on us because we've been good for so long. Now we're terrible.
Scott, you guys might be the worst team in the league.
They're not the worst team in the league. We've already talked about this. You're not beating out the Bears. You're not beating out the Giants.
Yeah, they're bottom 8, right? Bottom 7 or 8.
I would put the Bears above. I would put the Bears above the Patriots right now. Talent-wise, the Bears have way more talent.
I am not.
The Bears
I'll put the Bears tied with the Patriots then.
Yeah.
I'm not putting anybody above
anybody
right there.
Agreed.
It's horrendous.
At least,
guys, we got a bunch of crap coming up here. Yeah. I got a lot of work to do, guys. But there's stuff's happening. There'll be a video drop tomorrow morning. Check it out. I'll post it. I'll tweet it, share it out. So check that out it's a little bit of announcements, the future, stuff like that. So I'll drop that off in the morning. But guys, let's just keep having fun, keep talking sports right now. That's all we can do. There's tons of shit going on. Hockey starts.
Hate it. I quit.
The Packers are losing. The Cubs losing. The Bulls about to lose. Luckily, our Blackhawks will do well because I'm rooting for them. So let's have some fun. Good stuff's happening. Keep it rolling, guys.
Yes, sir.
It's all right. I just gave up on the season. I gave up on the Packers last year about this time. I'll give up now, and then it'll be all right. Yeah.
You were not giving up on your Packers. By Wednesday, you'll be back on the Packers bandwagon.
Now, I had a funeral for him last year on air.
Yeah, you did.
Do you remember? Do you remember, Nick, when I was on your show for like the first time last year, and it was the Titans had pulled everybody, and it was like a horrible Dallas game, and you and I were just sitting here, and I was like, I'm not even watching the game, bro. It was so over. It was not even funny.
So are we still on air? Tanner, you gonna hit that outro? We haven't even
the first hour.
I didn't outro yet.
So Tanner, before we go, the first hour can be Nick's funeral for the Packers on Thursday night.
An hour? No, he needs 10 minutes.
Might be.
No, well, no, I can give a eulogy.
I mean, there was some pass interference the refs didn't fucking call, but because he's not. If he was Aaron Rodgers, we get those calls. He's Jordan Love, so we don't get him.
You know I thought Max Crosby's helmet hit him in the chest too, on one of those. Like he didn't sack him, but he had his helmet down.
The goddamn fucking corner pushed off on Watson twice. Held him once and then pushed off on him.
They need to give the Raiders a win. They need to give the Raiders a win. So they gave the Raiders tonight.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend, folks. We'll be back Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. Talk a little baseball. We'll make our Thursday night. It's been a great show. Thanks to Jonathan, Jim. We'll see you guys Thursday night. Be a friend, tell a friend. Tanner, hit that outro. Let's go.
Off of my cloud.
That's the show.
Hey,
They stink.
They stink. They stink.
Life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands fame from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.